I'm Daniel Lotton. Gonna show you guys how to take my father Charles Lotton's lamps apart to change the light bulbs in the base, and it's so that the bulbs don't get broken or the lamp doesn't get broken either. So basically you pull the shade off, you unscrew the top of the cluster off, and there's one side that has two sets of wires going into it, and that's the one you want to take apart from that side. Make sure your lamp's unplugged, just so you don't get lit up. Okay, so we take off all the fittings. Okay, on this particular one, the power comes up and it just splits off into two, so it's going to make things a lot easier. So what we'll do is this, and that enables you to not have to take these apart and cause you a lot of grief, but sometimes you do. And some of these, there is a nut that holds it on, and then it comes off. There's actually another washer nut here. This comes off kind of like this. Be careful not to scratch the caps. You can undo these with a wrench too, but I just happen to have a pair of little needle nose. Okay. Kind of keep all your parts together so you don't lose them. On this particular one, there's a lock washer. Sometimes there's a cork in here instead of rubber. This lifts off. Okay. Here's the bulbs. Now, I started getting away from the regular light bulbs and started moving towards the LEDs, only because they don't have any heat to them. And heat and glass don't mix, they'll crack. So I started going to these Feet Electric. You can get these at, I think, Menards. And there's no heat to them, and they're able to be used with the the high-low switches that are on the lamp, the regular bulbs can work with this also, but they put heat on the piece, and you really don't want any heat. There's all kind of LEDs. These are the only ones that I found that actually work. Without putting a lot of heat on it at all. Well, actually no heat. So then you just reverse everything. Now, if you don't feel like you're competent enough and you're not competent enough to do electrical, you can always take the shade off the lamp and the finial and ship me the base, and I'll change the light bulbs out. Just make sure you notify us what you're doing. Now, when you're doing this, make sure the glass is centered on the bronze, because if it's not, and you start putting pressure on it, you'll crack the glass. So here, there's a small gap in between the glass and the bronze, and that's all there should be. Okay. And basically, you're just reversing the parts back on. Now the nut down below is actually what's tightening the glass up to the base. And since there's rubber in between the glass and the bronze, as long as you make sure it's centered and flat, it'll be okay.